been? I hope you're all doing well. I'm also doing very well. My name is Avane. For those who don't know me, I create lifestyle videos, self-care videos, and I share a word of hope, something to learn every Friday, because that is when I begin my Sabbath. Today I'm going straight to the topic of alopecia. Today it's anyway, it's always cold in Limuru, so don't mind my very warm sweater. I wish I can even wear this thing on my head, but for the sake of just doing this very quickly and answering all your questions, let me just go ahead and answer every question. So far, since I shared my last video on alopecia, I noticed so many people have been asking me questions, and I feel like in that video I just shared like a sort of like an update of how life is going, but I didn't dwell deep into the issue of alopecia. So I'm just going to share to answer these questions very fast, just to give you an idea of what alopecia is about. I told you about my story. My hair was okay until at some point my hair started thinning from behind, and then when I went to the barber shop, I found out I have patches on my head. Like, I don't know if you can see now. I have patches on my head, and I had to go through medication. So I went and I saw a dermatologist, and I was and as we speak right now, I'm going on with medication. Anyway, first question: what is alopecia? Most of my friends have been asking me, what do you mean? What is alopecia? Alopecia is an autoimmune condition where basically what happens is your immune system attacks your hair follicles, and when it attacks your hair follicles, what happens is it does not go through there are 3 stages of hair growth. So when your immune system attacks your hair follicle, what happens is it breaks the stages of hair growth, and automatically you start to, like, hair does not grow. So what happens in most cases, you'll realize there is no hair coming out. If you touch that part of your skin, you feel like it's bald. There is nothing growing there. So what basically happens is your immune system attacks your hair follicle. We all know that hair follicles are like your hair grows through your hair follicles, like it's a full-blown stage. So if anything attacks your hair follicles, then it means your hair won't come out. So what are the symptoms? Mostly the symptoms usually are you scratch your scalp, and you feel like scratching your scalp all the time, but then you don't even have dandruff. So if you get that feeling all the time, try and see a dermatologist and find out if there could be a possibility of you suffering from anything. Yeah, so the first symptom is usually scratching your scalp, and then thinning of hair. When you see your hair thinning too much, especially mostly because, for example, like me, I had natural hair, and the only thing that I did was to blow dry my hair. So it was very odd to see my hair thinning, and it was thinning very subtly, and then from nowhere it was just too much. So at some point I didn't have hair at all. I'll share the photos. Yeah, so another symptom is thinning of hair. Actually, those are the 2 main symptoms that are the major signs of having alopecia. And then of course the final one is most of the time, especially in ladies, you start to have small patches on your head small round patches that form in parts of your head, and in these patches, if you touch them, you find you have no hair. So when your hair is thinning, you will notice that your hair is not full as usual, not unless you were born with that type of hair. But if your hair has always been full and then you start feeling like it's really thinning, then there could be an issue. So it's upon you to figure that out. And if you find these round patches on your head, on your scalp, then it means you actually have it. Because alopecia, the main sign is that you start to form round patches on your scalp. So what are the best ways of dealing with alopecia? One thing, for me personally, I shared another video. I'm going to link it down in my description. When I noticed that my hair was slowly thinning and some parts of my some parts of my head, the hair was not growing as with the same speed as the rest of the hair. I changed my hair self-care. I made sure to use a conditioner, treatment, shampoo, oils. I made sure to wash my hair quite often. And another thing that is very important, it is always good to avoid subjecting your hair to harsh conditions. For example, like these procedures that we go through, not really procedures, these things that we do in the salon, like treating our hair, blow drying our hair too much, pulling of our hair, especially when we are being plaited. Like, what is this thing that people do after treatment? I don't know the exact name. When you put your hair and your scalp in such harsh conditions, especially high temperature, it then causes your hair to thin, and it might eventually cause harm to your scalp. So it's always good to observe all these measures to avoid ending up in certain situations. Yeah, so my first thing that I did was that I changed my hair care completely, and with time I noticed change. But after that again, I noticed during that time when I changed my self-care, I also used onion extract. Like, what I used to do, I blended onion, and the fluid from the onion, I used to apply it on my scalp. So that really helps a lot. It actually suits your scalp, and eventually it helps to grow your hair. Yeah, so that was the first thing that I did. But years later, my hair was okay. As you have seen in most of my videos, I was actually even making my hair like a normal person, until I noticed some changes again at the back of my head, and I went and I visited a dermatologist. And when I visited a dermatologist, first I cut my hair. So when I cut my hair, I know the barber noticed the patches on my head, and the dermatologist had a look at it, and when he examined my head, he noticed I only have problems here, meaning my hair was thinning at the back of my head, but really there's no problem. I just needed to take care of my hair better. But here, this is the place where I was affected most, and so he automatically diagnosed alopecia areata. I knew about it, but this was a bit different because it seemed like it was more severe. So reasons why you could be having alopecia could be several. One thing, you could be lacking some nutrients in your body. For example, iron, zinc, magnesium. and you could be having a problem with your thyroid. So for me personally, I was asked to do blood tests, and when it was checked, it was found out that my levels were okay, so that was ruled out. Another thing could be you have mashilingi. I don't know what's the right word. I'll look for the right word and mention it down below. Another thing could be that you are undergoing through so much stress. Like for me, for example, the doctor asked me if I have gone through a very a hard time, like a stressful time, and which is part of the reason why, I think, because I've been subjected to too much pressure and stress over the past few years, and that could also be another reason. And another reason could be subjecting your hair to very harsh conditions, and this could potentially cause it could potentially cause hair problems and scalp problems. Yeah, so those are the main reasons that someone might end up with alopecia. So that is why I really insist on self-care, because I've come to realize that with time I neglected myself so much, and some things have been coming up, and these are things I would have avoided if I took time to really, like, step back and really take care of myself. Yeah, so those are the reasons why. I'm trying to think other things, the curious things that people have been asking me. I want to make this video very short. What else? Are there any home things you can do at home to avoid this? Yes, like I said, you can use onion extract. There are some natural oils that are very good for your scalp. For example, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, and there's some others that I don't want to mention them here. I will talk about them in another video some other time, after I really take time and research on them. But basically, the herbal oils are also very good, and yeah, so I'll talk about them after I use them and I review them. Then I will give you like my opinion on them. What else can you do? Please make sure to take care of your hair. Don't subject your hair to so much harsh conditions. You can actually try and wash your hair all the time. Actually, try and wash your hair at least twice a week, once a week. Watch who is plaiting your hair. Be careful, because some people are not very keen on how they plait your hair. They have to be very, very soft, very, I don't know what's the right word, but it's just good to make sure that your salonist is easy on your hair, so that you avoid pulling of your hair. What else is there to ask? That's about it. Yeah, so that's all about alopecia. Can it be severe? Will your hair grow back? It depends. If yours is a severe case, it might take long, or it might never grow back again. I'm praying and hoping that I will grow back the little patches, my hair in the little patches where I have lost my hair. Actually, I'm seeing a big difference after being injected with steroids. I have seen some difference, and I hope the results will be good. Yeah, so in some cases your hair might grow back, in some cases it might not. I have seen ladies who do not have hair at all at the center of their heads, on the sides of their heads, and they're forced to use either wigs, weaves, or those things that they do in the salon. And so it depends. You never know what you have, but you have to make sure that you go to a hospital and get checked. Just do something about it. It does not hurt to do something about it. What kind of medications can you go through? Oh, I have moved now to another question. What kind of medications Can you go through? Okay, like I mentioned, me personally, after measuring my iron, zinc and thyroid and finding out they're okay, I was advised to get some steroid injections, which I agreed to. So what I do is I'm done with them, but yeah, so I was getting in steroid injections after every 2 weeks, and I had 3 sessions. So that is 3 injections in 6 weeks. There's something called minoxidil that the doctor can advise you to use. There's some very specific shampoos that you can be asked to use. I'm personally now using minoxidil because I've forgotten to bring the box, but it's called minoxidil, and I actually don't need to share with you because I feel like this is something that should only be given to you by a dermatologist. And you need to get very, very clear instructions from the dermatologist, because you could actually be using minoxidil when your skin does not need that. So really that is not necessary, because again there are some side effects to using minoxidil. So there's no point of using something and maybe you don't have a severe case of alopecia areata. Yeah, so the full name is alopecia areata. You can Google and find out more about it. Does it affect women only? No, it actually affects both women and men. I remember the doctor saying that in men it comes differently. You might think, anyway, I just don't want to talk about that so much because that can only be advised by a doctor. But yeah, the alopecia areata does not only affect women, it affects both male and female. Yeah, so I don't think there's another question that I've been asked about alopecia that is too complicated. No, I think I've covered everything. Oh yeah, before I forget, the other reason that could be causing alopecia, you to have alopecia areata or loss of hair, could be that you're having a fungal infection. So if you have a fungal infection in your skin, in your scalp, you could start losing your hair, because basically what happens, the fungi attack or affect hair growth. It affects hair follicles, so your hair does not grow as it's supposed to do, to grow. Yeah, so that is basically it. I think I've mentioned everything, and this video was straight to the point, just to make sure that you get all the details that you might need to know. I will make sure to spell the name right so that you go and Google and find out more about it. I will also share the name of the doctor that I am seeing, the different locations of the clinic. It's actually in, last time I mentioned Yaya Centre and Parklands only, but they also have one in Gigiri. So I'll make sure to mention all of them and their main contacts. They're very prompt. Once you call them, they'll book you for they'll give you an appointment, and when you see your doctor, you'll get more advice. That is it for today. I think I've given all the information that I needed to give. I really hope, if you're suffering from hair loss or thinning of the hair, please go and get help, and I hope it will work out well for you. Do not ignore some of these things, because you might think it's a small thing, but it's a big change. It is nothing out of the ordinary. Personally, I don't mind. I think I'm actually going to stay like this for a while. I cut my hair down again. The last video you saw, my hair had grown a bit, but I cut it down. I'm gonna keep it this short. I prefer my hair this short compared to that size which I had last time. So it's not a big deal, but then again, it's also a big change in somebody's life. So just try and, change this thing. And again, remember to always love yourself, take care of yourself. Just because something like this drastic happens to you doesn't change anything about you. You're still beautiful. You're still, you know, you're everything that you want to be in your mind. So everything is, it all boils down to who and what you think of yourself. Do not let anything pull you down. There's a lady, that statement really it surprised me. She said hair is everything. That is a serious statement. You cannot set your mind like that. Hair is not everything. There's more to life than hair. But I'm not saying having hair is bad. It's actually a beautiful thing. It makes you explore and do other things. But then again, if something like this happens, you can always wear a wig. You can always style yourself with hats. You can dress very kinky and look very beautiful with your short hair. I'm actually going to do some different outfits with my latest look, and really there's nothing different about it. Yeah, so you're beautiful and everything about you is beautiful. And remember, it all starts from your mind. Yeah, okay, so that is it for today. I love you so much with the love of God. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me. I'm hoping to have many more of you join our team, and of course it makes me so overjoyed. Yeah, so I'm grateful. That is it for today. Bye guys, I love you.